TGIF Warriors, NFP. We're having the market turn after a strong number. They probably dug into wages, etc., to generate this rally that we have risk on happening after a sell-off. Dollar was stronger. You see how the euro sold off and is now recovering. It's my contention that this is not the bottom or the end of the correction in euro, that if you're so inclined, that it would be a sell between here and 110.5. And how I would approach it, instead of having just a liquidation stop over the high of the move, and it's because of what's happening on a weekly basis. That's a little bit, here you go. So there you have your weekly, I believe it's a 200-day, let's see. It is 200 week up here, contained last week's high. So it's my view that if you get short up here between here and 1050, say you do a 1 lot, you have a 2 lot above the high to get you long in case there's a breakout. If it works out according to my plan, this would be a B wave. So you had A down right here, and then you have A, B, C, irregular, maybe back to the 10.5 level. That would be 61.8 back sometime early next week. You could scale it up to 1050. And then I'd be looking for at least equal to, which would be about 240. And if it's a fib extension, so I'm looking for 108 before I start even having the inkling of looking to start getting long euro. Same applies in Aussie. In fact, Aussie has been a bit weaker. I would sell this recovery up towards the 68 level. If we get there early next week, looks like another 50 pips or so. And this was about 270. So maybe from here, we get a pullback towards 65.5, 65. That's going to be the long-term position long buy in the Aussie. So the yen had one heck of a rally. Is it over? It got to where it was supposed to, right around the 146 level, something I showed on moving averages. So nice rally. It's putting in a reversal week. This to me right now is an I don't know. I'm not sure if this is complete. So I'll stand aside. Canada failing from 134. I don't think we're going straight to new lows. Just like Aussie, I'd be looking to buy a pullback in Canada, maybe around, I don't know, let's take a look at some intraday. 3250-ish, wrong under these lows. So looking for something like this. So we went, let's call it 220 from here. So if we hold this 270, that's going to get us up to the 135 level, which I believe could be a long-term short in US dollar Canada. So with this happening in the dollar, we got a pretty good pop in the metals. Gold rallied. Still my contention that we haven't bottomed. I'll show you the miners in a minute. I still are shaping up for late January, early Feb buy. I still think that we could see lower numbers in the gold. This was a $60 decline, so maybe week 60 from here is going to take it back to 2000 and a fib extension. I'm thinking that gold still has 1940 minimum in it. Here's your daily. So here's a 200-day moving average coming in around 1960. Silver still, well, today it's acting better than gold, but under both of the moving averages, I still say silver has lower to go. Let's see if we're negating this breakout in the gold-silver ratio. We're right there. So as long as we're holding this 87 level, this breakout's still intact. Okay, so basically what we have here is counter trend stuff. I believe that could also include the S&Ps. which you're getting a nice little reversal day. I don't think we're going to just blow to new highs. S&Ps have been stronger than NASDAQ. Maybe a fib retracement back to about 740 to 760 should have trouble, and I still think that we're going to see 45 to 4,400. NASDAQ, as you can see, has had a much bigger decline, 800 points from here to here. So halfway back would get us to about 16.6. Still my contention that we could have a bigger break in the NASDAQ 100 that could take us closer to this 200-day moving average. Russell not recovering that greatly. In fact, Russell took the biggest hit this week. Very interest rate sensitive, and with the bonds turning back lower, not that impressive. Maybe it tries to break. And I just want to show you a couple of stocks. Amazon, barely holding this 50-day moving average. I still think that's a sale. And Apple, after a pretty good decline, we're talking about 10% decline from here to here, has left two gaps. We'll see what happens. I'm not impressed with this Apple bounce compared to, look at that, compared to what you're getting here in S&Ps and NASDAQ and the Dow. Dow should put in a third drive early next week. I don't think the other indices are going to go with it. But the point being, trade selection is very important, and Apple was my preferred short, and it's bearing it out. And the important point is, why was it my preferred short? Well, it was my preferred short because it was diverging here, okay, a couple of weeks ago. S&Ps were confirming a couple of weeks ago. AMD was confirming. See, these are RSI readings, while Apple wasn't. That's just on the daily time frame. Apple even more so. If you look at the bounce, even though we're bouncing today, look at that weekly candle. Okay, so we left a pretty big gap. I've got to call that a breakaway gap. Like I said when I was on with Mike, I wouldn't be looking to buy this, looking for a gap fill yet. And if we could take out 180, I have two stops. I have the weekly moving average at about 175, and we get through that, we should be seeing the mid to low 160s. That's the way I see things. One of our viewers asked me if I could take a look at Nat Gas for him. So I'm going to do that now. Here's Nat Gas pulling back a little bit today. Trying to form some type of double bottom. Looks like it had a good week. Look at the daily. I don't like this, viewer. Do you have a confirmed low on the daily here? Now, next time, should Nat Gas fail and make one more new low, then I'll begin to stalk it, especially if the RSI is above 30. Just want to touch on the miners quickly, even though gold sharply higher. GDX looks vulnerable. It's still leaving a gap here. Newmont, a little better, but a lot of these shares are leaving tails off this strong move in the bullion. Here's your couple of your silver stocks. Here's that's First Majestic. Here's the ETF. These still look vulnerable to me. I don't feel compelled to do anything yet. I'm counting on my narrative being right in the dollar. And when the dollar starts getting up towards that 104.80 level or so, then I'll be paying attention to longs there. Another silver stock that looks to be putting in an important reversal day now that I'm looking at this nice reversal here in Endeavor. It's the first one. I don't know if this turned the week positive, but pretty glaring divergence right here. Everyone see this? And, you know, everyone knows in FSM, I'm still waiting for lower numbers. You know, I still think 320 is possible. And this too, I'll be keying off of what happens here with the dollar. So the dollar's a key. It's all one market. Weak dollar, buy the world. Strong dollar, sell the world. So we'll see what kind of follow through we get from today's NFP data. Here's the 10-year. I thought we'd get up to about 4.25. Doesn't mean that we can't, even though we sold off here. Still, I think a decent week. And I did the fibs here on the 10-year. So 38 is 424 if this low holds. Halfway back's about 440. I don't think the market would like it. Even a move back to 4.25, they're still not revising all the cuts they think that are ahead for the U.S. economy. TLT hanging tough after a down day yesterday, trying to rally. This one is way overdone in my view. I'd be more interested at the 92 level than here. So hope everyone had a good week. It's also my mission to be teaching you the whys behind my narratives and my forecasts. I hope you're learning so that when I'm not here, you could remember what Dale taught about RSI and certain correlations and what kind of market messages you're getting. And in the meantime, enjoy your weekend and look for our first full week of trading next week. So don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Takeaway is I don't believe that the dollar has completed its recovery. Still looking for sub 108 euro, 65 handles in Aussie, 135 handles in USD CAD, and still think if we're patient with the gold, that we'll get some nice buying opportunities in the miners. I do like this action, and I may just take a small position on Endeavor starting to do something. It was just one day. So that's why I keep an eye on more than one silver issue. This was a little bit under 30. And guys, okay, I'll admit it. Once in a while, when I'm thinking of taking a position, I'll even zoom into a 15-minute chart to see what it looks like. This was a pretty nice divergence. So if I'm right about the dollar, let's see what happens with Endeavor. Looks like it's turned the corner. And also look at the one that Mike brought up that had good option flow. Also, Alexis said that Newmont had good option flow. So here it is, SSRM. Yeah, I still think there's a new low coming in that, something similar to what we just saw in Endeavor. I would say that the chart is going to do something like this, and we'll see where it comes in. Just doing this on the fly. Maybe we have some type of third drive here in SSRM down around the 1020 level. It's not that far away, 1020, and see where the RSI is then. So have a good weekend, everybody. Let's make 2024 your best year ever in all ways, and hope that we give you an edge and that you learn some things besides just taking calls blindly. Don't do that. Make sure everything lines up with your work, or you're not going to grow. You're just going to become dependent. What you want to become is independent of everyone. Not that you don't look around and do intelligence gathering with people whose work you respect, but it's got to be your work so that you're not in a position of weakness where if someone does something else with their life, that you're going to be lost. So use 2024 as a learning, growing experience. And as a trader, you never stop doing that. It's an ongoing process. So that's a wrap. TGIF, everyone. See you next week, and see you in the room.